So this is pretty interesting. We haven't really seen a whole lot of variety out of these seeds. It's been different flavors of the same thing, basically.
Getting our first look at the black magic. We got nothing.
Exit and Fog 2 at level 1. That helps out the white mage a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, Exit is definitely a welcome sight. I would pick up Confuse on the red mage just to take out the pirates quickly. But other than that, level 1 is definitely not.
No save items in the first item store either. Here next, taking a trip to Matoya.
Sonic Wrath immediately heading over to Melman and checking level 5 magic.
I didn't see much there. I saw Lit 3 at level 5, but I couldn't see much else. He's in and out quickly. Black shirts for sale cheap. Like 1,054 for black shirts in Melmont.
Looks like there's about 5,000 and some change up with Matoya. We robbed this poor blind lady.
Demon Frog finds a mage staff. That's going to be a really great option to give the white mage something to do in combat.
Fade at level 2. That's going to be great for both the red and the white mage.
Okay, so Fade at level 2 means we have lots of magic damage on the table. I don't think we're going to see anybody Dana character at this point.
And get some.
So this is going to be a pretty straightforward grind to 32 and
get some Rod over at Sarda's.
Ribbons for sale extremely cheap in Pravka as well. 2,100 for one, so.
Yeah, Opal bracelets also available in Provoca, but they were on the expensive side, being almost 60k.
Sonny Wrath checking the chests and Cardia Isles and finds a Vorpal Sword and a Thor's Hammer.
Yeah, I think Sonny Wrath's first move every game so far has been to go up to Cardia.
It's a good play. If you find something there. I'm a little curious with going to the Cardia when you have black belts as opposed to, say, fighters. If you have fighters, I think it makes a lot of sense. And a black belt seed, perhaps a little bit questionable.
Well, when you don't have good magic, it's sometimes okay if you're hoping to find a Thor Hammer or a Mage Staff. Give you that AoE to really clear out some things.
I mean, that's fair, but we did see Fade at level 2, and we have Confused to be able to take out the Pirates at level 1, so I would argue that just getting the Pirates down with Confuse and then getting Fade for your mages is all the AoE you need.
Yes, but Sonny hasn't seen Fade. He hasn't been there.
Sonny found houses for really cheap, less than 200 gil for a house.
Turnex picks up a Coral Sword and decides that's enough to take out Garland, so he's going to go melee strats this time.
$20 damage first turn. This could get ugly.
It's good turn order on the third turn, and Garland does go down, though, so some levels under his belt. Demon Frog finally gets the Mage Staff off, and the Pirates go down. So gonna get some levels on the mages, and that's some Fade charges under his.
It's almost a welcome sight to have your black belt die in that fight for that first one. You get level 8 instead of level 7.
Yeah, but it does make getting further levels on your black belt more difficult, so I think I would rather see 7 on all 3 characters and have the HP to be able to survive a hit with the black belt before you get the fade charges.
Silver linings, man. Silver linings.
Broadster has found Gershark and Big Eye inside of Temple of Fiends.
Wow.
So we might be going for another non-traditional grind here.
Yeah, that was the first fight off a reset as well. He does manage to kill it, albeit with just one person alive, though.
Sonny finding Temper at level 4.
I don't know if...
4's good. That means your red mage is going to have it, so it's definitely a welcome sight for the end fight. Doogie McIver calling for a solo white mage. I don't think we're going to see that. That's a little bit risky on the alternate final bosses. Some very interesting buyable cast items. Defense, Bane Sword, and Mage Staff all buyable in Elfland, as we see Warp at level 3 as well. Oh, and Cure 4 available only to the White Mage, so White Mage is definitely going to see the light of day.
One thing, Falconic asking to Dan the White Mage at the start. The only reason I could see them to keep them up late game is if they get Cure 4 Life 2 possible.
I mean, with Cure 4 being locked to White Mage, you're definitely going to be keeping the White Mage alive, at least in Topher. I would want to have as much HP on them as possible to be able to revive your characters and heal back up, though. White Shirt's buyable for super cheap in Elfland as well.
Brat trying to get some levels on his other characters, and Turn Orders just says no.
Yeah, even resetting out of just the Gershark to make sure he gets the Big Eye with it. If he can actually get the levels off this, that'll be good, but he really needs the Red Mage and Black Belt to stay alive long enough to actually get the experience points. And now he's electing to take the solo Gershark, and I agree with this decision. At least get some experience points with the Black Belt.
Sonny Wrath finding ghosts in front of the chest in the volcano. I wouldn't potentially want to grind there.
The game just will not let Brat get this fight.
I'm a little surprised he didn't take it and take the experience points on his Red Mage, and then move the Black Belt to the back ranks in order to try and soak up the hits with his mages to keep his Black Belt alive longer. Unfortunately, he's getting some real low rolls on these fade rolls. Does finally get some experience points for that Black Belt, though. Meanwhile, Demon Frog has found some guard sentries in Earth Cave.
Yeah, depending on how much health they got, that could be very lucrative. What was that, 3 fades took it out?
That's pretty reasonable, and he's up to level 14 on all his characters after that.
Yeah, once your Black Belt hits 20, that's going to be way faster, because he's going to be able to take out that sentry.
Excuse me, the Black Belt's only level 12.
here's the fight we were all looking for. An ogre. No, just kidding. It's not a good fight.
Yes, the lucrative ogre hyena fight that everyone pines for. I mean, if this was vanilla and you're having to do an elfin grind, you would really wish that you could see hyenas with them, but in the randomizer, that's not a very good fight.
Like, most of our runners are stumbling upon the sentry guards.
Yeah, I have to think the sentry guard is going to be a pretty popular option. It wasn't difficult to find, and that's often what you're really going for in Chaos Rush, is something that you can find quickly. Although we now find out that they have glare, and that suddenly makes that not a good option. Or at least you want to go...
Yeah, ribbons were cheap, so may see somebody hop on over to Provoca and pick up a couple of ribbons.
Yeah, Demon says it and says, no thanks, I'm going to go take my chances with Volcano.
Yeah, unfortunately, Volcano doesn't seem to be much better with ghosts in front of that chest, and they hit like a truck, so...
You said they hit like ghosts?
Yes, they definitely hit like ghosts.
Does Demon Frog have armor on? Because that could be why they're hitting for so much.
Probably not. I'm going to guess that he hasn't picked up any armor yet.
Yeah, because the opals were expensive.
Although, ghosts don't tend to care that much about your absorb. They're always going to hit hard.
That's true. I don't think Tyrannex has seen the glare yet, as he continues to grind the sentries and guards.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too common, but definitely could trip up our runners.
Looks like Sonny and Broad are looking for more key items, hoping to bump up that XP grind.
Oh no, Brot, you needed to go one more tile to find the good tile in here. Need resets out of the ogre fight.
Yeah, I don't blame him for not wanting to waste time on the unrunnable ogres.
I think they are runnable, aren't they?
The ogre hyena fight was a unrunnable encounter.
Oh, I got confused because Sonny Wrath's fighting Cerebus and ogre. Might have been it was probably a Wiz ogre. And it was runnable. But with palette swap, it'll look the same. He's Diving Marsh. Which, with exit, makes a lot of sense. But Grogers, eh.
Yeah, this is not the fight we want to grind. Hopefully there's a key item that makes up for this. The crown is something that will make up for this. That's a lot of experience points between all the fetch quest chaining you can do.
Yeah, the crown chain. Northwest Castle might hold some good grind spots in front of the chests over there. Potentially.
Brot finds a big eye Gershark tile. I think.
Broad or Demon?
Demon. That's who's in the top right. I'm asleep. Ignore me.
Unfortunately, it takes a bit too much damage and has to reset out of that. So he is off to look for other options. Broadster, meanwhile, is returning to the wild Gershark Big Eye that he found.
Well, now he's got a defense sword to try and keep his black belt alive. Makes a lot of sense. Those Gersharks have a lot of health, though.
Yeah, a couple fade charges does get the job done, but it's certainly taking a little while until that black belt's able to do enough damage by punch.
Thani Wrath finishing out the keychain here. One could say it's key to his strategy, but I wouldn't be caught saying that.
Sonny does elect to skip checking the incentive in Cardia Castle, though. Clearly more interested in finding the grinds than the extra incentive item. Ooh, and finds eyes in Northwest Castle, so this is a huge advantage now for Sonny Wrath.
Yeah, that is definitely the XP grind right there.
Sonny slingshots into the lead. I don't blame Sonny for not checking the Corneria locked chest. I often forget that it's incentivized, which it usually doesn't change the math that much if you find something like 3 eyes.
Yeah, they're going down to 2 fades, and this is some really good experience points. Broadster taking an early dive into Topher. Interesting with having the double fades and a defense. This is a possibility if he finds 2 fiends that don't have much HP.
I'm a little worried he's gonna have to use all his fade charges on carry here, though.
Yeah, Carry playing nice so far, throwing low magic till that auto. That was definitely a bad auto attack there.
But he at least knows a little more information. Now, if you're Sonny Wrath, do you go at 32, or getting this much experience, do you just hang around, spend the extra 2 minutes, and make sure you get through the first try?
I think that's a really interesting choice for Sonny Wrath, because he doesn't need a great time to be safe here. I mean, finishing even in second, he is guaranteed to move on. But I really don't think that with this party having, Fade at level 2 and a Black Belt at 32, I think that should be enough to get through most combinations of alt bosses. I personally would try at 32, but I wouldn't blame him for going straight to 42.
Yeah, I could see him giving it a decent dive at 32, but I'm in the same boat. I would go to 42. That XP is just a little too good.
Oh yeah, she's accurately pointing out that Sonny Wrath is guaranteed to advance even if he gets 3rd place. And even if he gets 4th place, is very likely to advance given that he is the top seed. And with 4 points, that's going to be very hard to knock.
Meanwhile, Tyrannex, level 36, doing a solo grind down on the Sentry Guard.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the sentries are now actually trying to run away. Although running away is not using glare, so this should be a pretty safe grind for Tyrannex.
And looks like Sonny's ready to go and make a stab at it.
Rochester, meanwhile, is now going after Ice Cave. So definitely a bit curious. I have to think he's not happy with the Gershark Big Eye grind, thinking that it's taking too much time. and just trying to shoot for something else.
And he takes out Carrie. And we get to see what's behind her. Tiamat. Lots of dragon heads. Throw out some fade charges.
Tiamat looks to have some pretty high absorb. 7 hits with a critical for only 148.
We got some low rolls on the fade charges that round too. That one's a little better. 220, 280. That'll be all for Tiamat today. Moving his mages down, and we've got Peekaboo Chaos.
This is probably the party that you want to see for a 32 black belt. Those fades are going to take down the Garlands no problem, and at that point it's just punch Chaos to win.
And you've got Temper, so punching Chaos should be pretty easy.
Yeah, this is definitely the bag for Sonny. Unless Chaos comes out with something crazy like nuclear or double nuke or something, this is it for Sonny.
You can't call it too early, but this is definitely looking very good for Sonny. And after 8 hits for 400, that definitely looks very promising.
And that'll be it. Sonny Wrath comes in first.
Alright, Sonny Wrath gains 3 more points, putting him at 7 for a commanding first place finish. GG, Sonny. Speaking of, we are now joined in chat by Sonny Wrath. GG.
Thank you very much. I just have 2 letters and 1 word for that seed, and those are EZ mode.
Yeah, that definitely worked out pretty well for you. What were you thinking when you saw the 3rd seed in a row had a black?
I was either going to have to grind to 32 or 42 and hope that I could power through whichever Chaos pack we got. Unfortunately, we got Garland and Friends instead of Fun Dead, which is what I was more worried about than anything else. I don't like the Fun Dead pack, even though I know how to deal with it, just because I more often than not get terrible luck with the Fun Dead pack.
We got Tyrannix making a dive here. And Demon Frog.
So yeah, you got the 3rd seed overall, putting you top seed moving into this round, and then you took a commanding lead for top place in your pod. So you have to be feeling pretty good with your standing so far in the tournament.
Yeah, I feel really good. The first seed didn't go too well, but these last 2 went extremely well. 2 black belt seeds in a row definitely worked out for me, and I've been practicing black belt seeds more than anything else just to make sure I'm consistent with them.
Tyrannix is now on to his hide-and-seek Chaos fight, and has narrowed it down to just Chaos. So
looks like he's got a 42 black belt looking at that health.
Yeah, 42 black belt is going to be very comfortable getting through this fight pretty easily. He's got some Invis 2s. That's 10 hits for almost 800 damage. This fight is not long for the win.
Did anybody else happen to find Eisen Northwest Castle to grind on?
You're the only one to pick up a crown.
Oh, wow.
And Demon Frog pulls the Peekaboo Chaos. Tyrannex finishes with a SRL time of 25:01. GG to Tyrannex.
Yep, so Tyrannex gains 2 more points, and despite Sony Wrath and Tyrannex tying, Sony Wrath's higher seed still puts him first in this pod. So Tyrannex is taking second, and unfortunately, we know now that Demon Frog is going to be taking third, and Bratster is going to be taking fourth, no matter how this final race pans out. Hey, Tyrannex, welcome. GG. Welcome, Tyrannex. GG.
Hey, thanks.
So what did you think of that seed, Tyrannex? Or really, all the seeds?
They all kind of went pretty according to plan. Definitely didn't need to go to like level 45 on that last one.
No,
But I didn't see fast, so I figured going to 42 was worth it.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the 3 black belts in a row kind of get you a little practice, I guess, going into this last one, and then the game throws you Peekaboo Chaos, so you
Oh
could have
yeah,
got through
for
it
sure.
at 32. Sonny, I believe, got through at 32, and that's kind of the difference between the two of your times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I ended up going through at 32 after grinding on Eyes in Northwest Castle.
Ooh. Yeah, those sentries I was fighting, they had a lot of absorb, but it got there eventually.
I think they also had Glare, which I'm not sure that you ever saw.
I saw it, but I don't think it ever got me.
GG to Demon Frog, and Brat has forfeit from the race. So, GG everybody.
So